And this voice, after telling him that he's in a wrong condition, which can be changed completely, after it tells him that, it then goes on to a very interesting instruction, which is happening in this room and on this film right here now. What this voice is telling him is how to build a ladder. The voice says, now you're inside this wall, and it's quite possible for you to begin to learn how to build a ladder that you can set against the inside of the wall, climb up the ladder, and get out into the other world. For a long, long time, the man resists the message because, ladies and gentlemen, he is in love with his miserable state. He likes to get mad. He likes to resist truth. He likes to pretend that all is well. He calls his inside prison the open space. He calls his delusion reality. All right, that's the problem. It's coming right through, the message is coming right through what he has to do in order to build a ladder and get out. But he doesn't want to hear, so that's the first problem. He doesn't want to. If the pain gets too bad, then he'll begin to listen, and here's what he'll hear. The ladder consists of spiritual facts, of acquiring knowledge, of learning, for example, that you are indeed in a hopeless and helpless position as long as you stay inside there and refuse to investigate any alternative, any other possibilities. So the facts at the start to come to the man, and the idea occurs to him that these facts are indeed parts of the ladder, which he can put against the wall and climb over. And so for many, many more years after the message first starts penetrating his receptivity, for many, many years after that, he starts to acquire true knowledge, spiritual facts. And even that isn't easy, because for a long, long time they get mixed up with all his delusions and pretenses and falsehoods that he has collected and called truths. So real truths start to come in, principles, ideas, right ideas, start to come in. They get all mixed up with his, and for a long time he can't tell the difference between one and another. And this is where a teacher comes in. This is where a true book comes in to help a student find out the difference between his old false ideas and true ideas. So for a long time he collects ideas, sifting them, sorting them, throwing out the junk, all those related to the lie that he has to be someone in this world, the lie that he's going to go somewhere, he can go somewhere on his own, he can't go anywhere. Now, again, after many more years, the man finally has enough facts together to build the ladder. So he puts it together, and he takes the ladder over, and he sets it against the inside of the wall, and for many, many years, he just stands at the base of it, afraid to climb. Anybody can collect knowledge and build the ladder. That's the start. If you're receptive, you can. But I want you to understand that there's a very critical point in your spiritual life, any of you here. Once you have built that ladder of facts, you're not out, and don't you dare let imagination tell you that you're now loving, that you're now kindly, that you're now healthy and can help other people become mentally healthy. See how easy it is to go into self-deception and pride and vanity and conceit when we get a little spiritual knowledge. We immediately twist it for our own wrong ego-serving purposes, which keeps us inside the wall and inside our own suffering. So a man has the ladder of knowledge, and for a long, long time, as he stands there at the base of it, he ponders the fact that he's not out yet. He says, here I've been reading all about open space, about reality, about freedom, about peace of mind, about living an actually competent life. I've been reading about it, and then a new intelligent thought comes to him, and he says, I've been reading about it, but I don't have it. See, that's intelligence, to see that he has all this knowledge, but no active life inside him that conforms to it. And very reluctantly, he puts his first step on the ladder and starts to climb. And then the second step. And every step doesn't come day by day. It comes month by month and year by year. And when he gets about halfway up, he puts both hands on it, and he looks longingly back, doesn't he? He looks back at all the things he's going to leave. For example, he's going to have to leave all his tears, all his bitterness, all his hostility, all his blaming other people that he found so handy when he was down there. He looks back and says, do I have to leave all? And the message comes through, you must leave all. And he takes a deep breath. And takes another step, another step, another step. You understand, I will repeat that this is not an overnight process. This is a long, many, many years of starting from where we were to where you even get to the stage where you sense that you must act upon the knowledge that you have acquired. That you have to leave everything and everyone behind back there. No looking back and saying, I'm going to go back. So he climbs on and on up, on and on up. And he finally makes it to the top of the wall. Not yet. When you're on top of that wall, you're not out yet. You can still jump either way, can't you? Now comes the final crisis, and if you have read spiritual books, if you've studied yourself, you know how often the point is referred to in where you have to make the one final leap. Once and for all, make up your mind which you want. Your liberty, or go back to pseudo-liberty with all its pain, all its fantasies, and all its pretense. Very, very much its pretense. So now we have our man on top of the wall. And I'll ask you, from the very start of the talk tonight, where we saw the man as a small child, where he got hurt so badly, physically, mentally, emotionally, where he failed in school and didn't understand why he should fail and all the other children passed, and why all the other children seemed so more intelligent than he was. And then he grew up and he went out into the world, and he wanted so badly to make a lot of money, to have a right relationship with a woman. All these things went wrong. All his hopes and all his dreams crashed. And he went through all these other stages, building his protection, seeing that it was no protection at all. Shall I ask you here tonight, what stage are you at? Can you see where you are? Can you choose it tonight and see exactly where you are? If you can see where you are, I will guarantee you that with great sincerity and a great right yearning and a wish to no longer deceive yourself, you can not only get to the top of that ladder, but when you get to the top of that wall, and you catch your first glimpse of that real world, of that outside world, of the world where there are no problems at all, where there's no self to cause problems, it'll be no contest. You'll take the leap down. This is what is called entering eternity while you're still alive here on earth. And you must enter eternity while you're still here. You can do it and you must do it. Where are you making a mistake? In the journey from the time when you were a small child and started to get hurt by this world to the point where you could jump off the wall and should jump off into something so utterly different that the mind can't describe it. Where are you still resisting the voice? Where are you now? Inside the wall, dreaming that you're outside. If you get angry, you are inside. If you hate any other human being on earth, you are inside. See it. That's good for you to see it, not bad. This is honest, and it's for your sake. If you like to hurt other people in any way at all, if you like to cause trouble to them, you had better see where you are. Whose sake do you think we're talking about? For whose sake? For those of you listening, hearing here tonight. Don't you see we're talking about your life? We're talking about where you are. And we're talking about the beautiful, powerful news that says you can get out. Truth says so. Reality says so. God says you could lead an entirely different kind of life. And you can prove it for yourself. Everything wrong with our lives is inside the wall. Now, if everything wrong is inside the wall, are you going to stay inside the wall and try to correct it? This is what everyone is trying to do, live in their own little self-enclosure, having their way, their convictions, their beliefs, their ambitions, and saying that they're going to cure themselves and the rest of the world. That's like lunatics in an insane asylum saying they're going to cure each other. That's exactly what it is. Everything inside the wall is wrong, and nothing inside the wall is capable of correcting itself. How can the cause of the neurosis be the cure? Everything inside the wall is black, wrong, unintelligent, incapable of doing anything for itself. Now, how's that for a blow to human egotism? Everyone goes around saying they know the solutions to the political problems, to war, to crime, to heartache, to loneliness. Everybody goes around saying they know the cure to it, and everyone is suffering from it. How can the inmates of the insane asylum tell you how to become sane? Impossible. Now, thank heaven there is an outside of the wall. But if you don't want it, you'll never find it. If you're perfectly content to be miserable, then that's where you'll stay. If this is what you've chosen for yourself, this is the way you'll live. But anyone who wants to listen and try to detect the message that is not coming from something inside the wall, you can begin to hear something that is authentically different, that catches your ear. And you'll go running around and do your mad tasks inside the wall, but all the time you'll be saying, "What's that? What's that I'm hearing?" This is the beginning. This is the beginning of your right dissatisfaction with living where you are. And for a long time you're going to resist that voice because you think it's a threat. Of course you think it's a threat because you take your darkness as being light. You take your darkness as being your friend, therefore you take the message out in the light as being your enemy. Of course. This is how a sick mind operates. We're trying to listen to the health, to the sanity that's coming through that wall. Something we don't possess, but which we can acquire by the grace of heaven. Something that comes to us. Remember the other night? Something that comes to us. Remember the other night I said that you can't give anything good to yourself? You try it. You try giving yourself an accurate life. You try to give yourself the cure for your haunting nightmares. Try it. Where are you going to get it? You're going to get it inside the wall of your own prison mind. What we're trying to do here is to give up in the right way. Give up looking to our own madness for sanity. And you won't do that until you know that there's something wrong with your mind. Do you think that there's a person in an insane asylum can cure himself if he calls himself sane, which he does? Don't you see that he has to begin to see that he's not sane at all, that he does strange things, odd things, self-defeating things, does things that terrify him? with the ending of your own attempts to rescue yourself. That's the beginning of rescue. Not of your old nature. It can't be regenerated. You can only leave it. What do you think climbing the ladder is all about? Leaving your old nature, thank heaven.